The Natural House was written by Lloyd Wright, published in 1954. Late in his life, this book is both a manifesto and a reflection. It distills decades of thinking about what he called organic architecture. If modernism in Europe was about machines and abstraction, Wright's modernism was about nature and continuity. The natural house is not a elastic cabin. It is not imitation of trees or mountains. For Wright, natural means honest to materials, rooted to the site, human in scale, integrated with landscape, spatially continuous. This book is his attempt to explain what domestic architecture should become in the modern age. To understand the natural house, we first need to understand Lloyd Wright himself, a figure who reshaped modern architecture by insisting that buildings shouldn't dominate nature but glow from it. Lloyd Wright was born in 1867 in Wisconsin, in the vast American Midwest landscape that would deeply shape his architectural imagination. As a child, he was exposed to nature, often fields and geometric educational toys given by his mother. It was floorboard blocks, which trained him to see space as a composition of simple forms. He didn't complete a formal architectural education actually. Instead, he learned through apprenticeship, most notably in the office of Louis Sullivan, who famously declared that form follows function. Wright observed this idea, but he transformed it into something far more radical. Form and function should emerge naturally from life itself. By the early 20th century, Wright had already revolutionized residential architecture with the Paley houses, low horizontal homes that stretch across the landscape like extensions of the earth. Houses like Lobby House demonstrated his belief that architecture should reflect the land, climate, and human lifestyle. But Wright wasn't just designing houses. He was designing a philosophy. He believed the modern society was losing its connection to nature and individuality. Trapped in industrial cities and standardized housing, architecture, in his view, had the power to restore human dignity. By the time he wrote The Natural House in 1954, Wright was in his late 80s. The book reads like a manifesto, a reflection on decades of architectural thinking, and proposal for the future of living. It is not simply about houses. It is about humans should live in harmony with nature, technology, and a society. This is where his concept of organic architecture and Usonian vision comes central. So let's move on to the organic architecture. Organic architecture for Wright was not a style. It was a philosophy of life expressed through building. He believed that architecture should behave like a living organism, glowing from its environment, responding to climate, materials, and human needs. In The Natural House, Wright explains that a building should belong to its site as naturally as a tree belongs to the ground. He rejects the idea of applying decoration or historical styles onto buildings. Instead, he argues the structure itself should express its function, materials, and relationship to nature. A house shouldn't sit on the land. It should glow from the land. Walls should feel like extensions of the earth. Roofs should respond to the sun and rain. Materials should be used honestly, without disguise. So stone should look like stone, wood should feel like wood. Glass should open the interior to the nature. This idea challenges the industrial modernist approach of standardized, universal buildings. For Wright, architecture must always be specific to place, climate, and people. He criticizes urban housing that separates humans from nature, turning homes into mechanical boxes stuck in the cities. Instead, he proposes a new type of architecture that reconnects humans with the environment. Organic architecture means unity between structure and site, unity between interior and exterior, unity between human life and natural forces. In his thinking, a house is not just a shelter, it is an extension of the human spirit. The space, light, and materials, and landscape all work together to create a harmony. This harmony is what makes a house truly natural. He also criticized the typical American house of his time, like box-like rooms, applied decorations, historical imitation, and compartmentalized floor plans. He believed the Victorian house was artificial, divided into rigid rooms connected by corridors. The natural house should instead eliminate unnecessary walls, merge living, dining, and circulation, and use open plans. This spatial revolution began with the Paley House, such as the Lobby House. Their horizontal lines stretch across the landscape, and interior spaces interact rather than isolate. So one of the most important ideas in natural house is Wright's concept of Usonian houses. The term Usonian comes from Wright's vision of a democratic American society, a society where good architecture is not only for the rich, but for ordinary people. He believed architecture should be accessible, affordable, and efficient, and beautiful. The Usonian house was designed as a prototype for modern living, a modernist, affordable home that still embodies organic architecture principles. These houses were typically small, single-story structures with open floor plans, large windows, and direct connection to the landscape. They eliminated unnecessary spaces like attics, basements, and formal rooms. Instead, Wright focused on flexible living spaces that could adapt to daily life. The kitchen was integrated into the living area. The fireplace became the heart of the home. The walls opened toward gardens and nature. The structure was simplified to reduce construction cost. Radiant floor heating replaced traditional heating systems. Carports replaced the garages. Built-in furniture reduced the need for additional objects. Everything was carefully designed to minimize waste and maximize spatial experience. Wright saw the Usonian house as a model for the future of society. He believed that if people live in a well-designed, affordable, and natural homes, society itself would become more harmonious and democratic. Architecture, in this sense, becomes a social tool, a way to improve everyday life, a way to create freedom and individuality. He criticized the industrial housing market for producing identical houses that ignore human needs. In contrast, Usonian houses were designed to reflect individual living patterns while maintaining efficiency and simplicity. This vision connects architecture to ethics. A natural house is not only beautiful, it is socially responsible. It respects nature, resources, and human life. One of the Wright's greatest innovations was spatial continuity. Instead of discrete rooms, he created interpenetrating volumes, bearing searing heights, completion and release sequences. Space expand outward from the center. This idea transformed domestic life. Family life becomes shared and continuous rather than isolated and silly. For Wright, landscape is not a backdrop, it is architecture's partner. Windows are not holes in the walls, they are mediators between inside and outside. He used ribbon windows, corner glazing, extended roof overhangs, terraces aligned with interior floors. The goal was erasing the boundary between housing and nature. In a natural house, you do not look at the landscape, you live within. Although Wright emphasized the nature, he was not anti-technology. He embraced concrete slab construction, modular grids, prefabricated components, passive environmental strategies. He believed modern materials could serve organic principles. Technology must be subordinate to life, not dominated. At its core, the natural house argues that architecture shaped the human character. Boxed in the houses create a box in the minds. Open, light-filtered, integrated spaces foster the freedom. Wright believed architecture was moral. It could uplift the individual. It could express democracy. It could reflect a harmonious relationship between human and the environment. The natural house is therefore both aesthetic and ethical. Wright's ideas were visionary, but not without criticism. Some argue his houses were difficult to maintain. Construction costs often exceeded the budget. Standardization was not always practical, and his approach was still highly individualized. And yet, few architects have influenced domestic architecture more profoundly. Open plans, indoor-outdoor living, integrated furniture, these are now standard design vocabulary. In today's context of the climate crisis and sustainability, Wright's ideas feel surprisingly contemporary. Passive solar design, material honesty, landscape integration, human-centered scale. The natural house anticipates ecological thinking long before sustainability became mainstream. It reminds us modern does not have to mean mechanical. Efficiency doesn't have to erase the warmth. Nature and the design are not opposites. So the natural house is not simply a design manual, it is a philosophy of living. It argues that architecture must glow from its side. Space should flow, not fragment. Materials should speak honestly. Houses should nurture human life. Wright believed the home is the foundation of society. If we design houses that are human, integrated and natural, we build a healthier civilization. More than 70 years later, the questions remain urgent. How should we live? How should our homes relate to the land? Can architecture reconcile technology and nature? Wright's answer was clear. The house must not conquer nature. It must belong to it. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you better understand the foundation of architectural thinking and encourages you to explore the original texts and buildings more deeply. We are still climbing the ladder of knowledge in architecture, art, and philosophy and design. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below.